I'm sure it's in the chat. 238.
238. Here you go. So in theory, 52 times 5 minus a sprinkle of shows is where we are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only show that we take off is Thanksgiving because we realize that no one is going to pause the Macy's Day Parade, if you will, so that they can, or pause the pregame before kickoff to watch the show. So we give ourselves Thanksgiving off. So it's nice to be back. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Zach. It seems like it's been a while.
It has. I feel like it's been weeks, maybe a full month. Who knows? A lot has happened since. Yeah. Did you know? I learned this. You brought up Thanksgiving while I was cooking Thanksgiving. I guess last Thursday. Wow. And around this time, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles get on the screen.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that.
And I didn't know that they were 40. This is their 40-year anniversary.
I was going to, because Terry has it on. It's just something that she likes to do. Yep. And that came on. I naturally thought about you, and I was going to mention something, and then I don't know. I got sidetracked. Had to do my preparations or whatever.
I thought they were older than 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm 40. I didn't realize they were in the same year as me. I don't know. I mean, like, how old is Batman?
I think I don't know. You'll have to jump on that, but that's old.
Was it Adam West that started all that with like the old, or was it a cartoon? Yeah, I don't know. Some of these things you just wonder how old they are, and you're like, wow, 40. Wow.
Yeah.
We old. That's what when I see stuff like that, that's what I think. Big news. West Virginia University has fired their head coach, Neil Brown, after 6 years.
Foosball?
In football, yes, in foosball. I think people are happy about that. I always hate firing a coach. Don't always think it's the right move, but we shall see what happens. I know they went after Nick Saban. Apparently he said no. But he's from West Virginia.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, oh, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully next week we have a coach. We could talk about it. I don't know. What about you? You happy with your Bills?
Yeah, they clinched.
The Buffalo Bills, not the Bills that you get in the mail,
Yeah. No, it's it was fun watching the game with all the snow against the 49ers. Yeah, I don't know, it was like 22.5 million people tuned in for that. That's just, I believe it was. The Bills posted a graphic talking about that. So I think snow and football, it always goes well together, and the networks like it. I think that the week after next is going to be probably like the game that everyone is talking about and wants to see, Bills against the Lions.
Oh.
So that
Where's
could be
that?
In Detroit.
Got it. Detroit, very injured team, even though
they looked pretty beatable on Thanksgiving. The second half, they seemed to struggle a little bit. And so Batman was created March 30th, 1939.
Good Lord. Wow. See, all these things that we learned. Thank you, Emmanuel. I picked Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl. However, they have a very injured team. So hopefully they're okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
I won't tell you who I thought the other team was going to be because no one wants to hear it.
As long as it's not the Chiefs, man.
It was not.
Okay.
It was not. But it wasn't your team either, so oops. Huh.
Well, now I'm curious.
It was the Jets.
Oh, geez. Boy, yeah, you missed the mark on that, man.
You would think you would put a decent quarterback in there.
Yeah, that whole wheels fell off that wagon real fast, man. It's I don't know. Is he going to retire? Is he going to go somewhere else? What's going to happen with?
I don't know. I always thought he was somewhat overrated. I just think when you don't win a lot of Super Bowls, but people talk to you as like one of the greatest, I'm like, why don't we get there? Why don't we win more?
Interesting stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah. What do I think is going to
Also,
happen? I don't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about what people think. I don't mean that
also,
like a mean kind of way.
yeah.
But he's got a new Netflix documentary coming out. He just thinks differently, and I think that's cool. And
Yeah.
whatever.
All starts with colleges and campuses and all that kind of good stuff. And we're going to talk about that today on our show.
When you go to colleges, I know that you went to the military first and then go a little bit later. You never really had a college experience, right, Tim?
No.
Even when you went to, was it St. Leo? Is that what it was?
Yeah. I mean, that was just all straight online.
And the William & Mary was online too?
No, I did William & Mary in person, but that was the executive program. So cohort based, we met every other Friday and Saturday. Great program, but yeah, I never really had the traditional college experience that West Virginia. I hear they're in a league of their own.
Well, we know that Norfolk State's food scene is just criminal. That's what I've heard.
I was just at Norfolk State for the first time. I don't know. It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe last month. I was a judge for a pitch event, and that was my first time on campus. And I enjoyed it.
Oh, they have a big football stadium.
That's great.
Yeah, it's how many? Yeah. I got lost because I that was my first time, so I got to see the extended scenic route while I was panicking because generally my margin of error to be on time when it comes to traveling somewhere is razor thin. So
you've never been to Norfolk State? Wow.
No. So I was happy to be part of that, and it was cool.
That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, I
were you like getting on campus like, behold?
No, it's funny. So bringing up the military, I used to be one of the guys on the gate waving people through and all that kind of thing. It was never, I didn't do a lot of that, but I had to do it from time to time. And it's still, maybe because, I don't know, there's still an intimidation factor. I think when you go anywhere where there's a gate, whether if it's NASA,
Hampton has a gate too, right?
Hampton has a gate.
Yeah.
NSU has a gate. So it's just not something that you just walk, I don't think that if you just say, hey, I just want to go and check out the campus and wander around, I don't think that they would allow that.
What do you think? Jalaya,
it's on and off.
Oh, they would?
Because it's technically an open campus, so anybody can walk onto the campus, but also you have gates, so they have security to like monitor the cars and stuff. So it's a little iffy.
Are you from here?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I'm from 15 minutes from the campus.
Which way?
So I live in Portsmouth.
We got a lot of Portsmouth guests recently.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys know each other, Tim?
No, this is our first time meeting. I'm looking forward to this. As I've said many times, some of my favorite shows are the ones that we just sit back, have a conversation, and get to learn about someone new. So that's awesome. So you are part of Campus Connex. Is that something that you created? Is that something that has been around for a while? Talk us about what it is and what the genesis of what it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah, so I created Campus Connex. It's basically a platform for college students to post services and products that they have within their own campus community, as well as for the regular community. And so the way I came about it was basically I had another business on the side that I was doing, and I was really looking for somebody on my campus that could do like game design, but I couldn't find anybody. And so I would like go around, because I'm a technology major. So I was like, it should be pretty easy. I mean, I'm a tech major. I'm around tech people all the time. I was like, maybe I should, just go around asking my friends, do you know anybody who does this? And I was like, oh, there's not a full major for this, it's a minor. And I was like, I don't know anybody who knows anybody from there. So I was like, I don't know how to find anybody who does this. So I was on Fizz one day, which is like a school social media platform, kind of like Instagram and stuff like that. But basically I was scrolling through there, and I had noticed that somebody was asking about saying like, hey, I need somebody to do my hair. Does anybody do hair? And I noticed that there was little to no interaction with that comment. I was like, wow. So even if I even asked if anybody did game design, they probably would not respond because it seemed like people only like to respond to the memes and not to the questions. And so I was like, well, what if there was a place where people could find everybody a lot quicker and is, more efficient that way? So then I was like, you know what? I got an idea. So I basically went from there and started Campus Connex.
And what year were you? Was this your freshman year that you decided to do this, or were you at school for a little bit longer before you started?
Actually, I started this my junior year, but I had started my first business my sophomore year, like the spring of my sophomore year. So when I got into Campus Connex, I kind of had some experience already doing a business. I just didn't have any experience with really fully starting a project.
It's interesting that you were able to get people to engage with memes, but the actual basis of the business, the thing that you started it for, people weren't so interested in. Did you ever think about, okay, maybe we should just make this more of a meme place instead of the actual original place? Did you think about the pivot at all? And if not, how did you decide how did you start to persuade people to actually start connecting the way that you originally intended them to?
So with Campus Connex, like I had noticed with Fizz, so that's what the platform was, where the memes was all where people were responding to. And so I just wanted to take the small issue of people not being able to connect to one another and put that into my whole business model. And then that even goes into like Instagram. I had noticed that when I started really like doing research into this and just like trying to find people, I noticed that there's students on my campus who has full pages dedicated to their business on campus, but all of them either do like referrals in person, or they might have somebody who like might stumble upon their Instagram account, but then Instagram, like not all their Instagram accounts say, hey, I'm from NSU, I do this. And so that's something I had noticed since my freshman year, that there's issue with people trying to find other people. Like we even have like group chats where people are asking, for different things, like people who do certain things. And so before I started Campus Connex, I did do research, or not really research, but I did a customer survey. So I had sent out a lot of surveys to a lot of students on my campus asking, was this something that they would like? And a lot of students said they would, just because of the fact that there is no centralized place for them to find each other, which makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, so. During your research, is there other schools that do this? Is like everything? I guess if the answer of that is yes, it sounds like everyone, just a student from each respective university or college, then just creates something on their own to solve their own individual pain point, as opposed to having a franchise model that can go across different campuses. Yeah, what have you? I guess, simply put, are you looking to expand, or are there other places that are doing this as well?
So actually, I'm one of the only few. I think there's only 2 other campuses that I've seen that has done something similar to this, but it's not a campus thing. It's more so somebody noticed the issue and they basically had created a solution to it. But the thing with their issues are they made it specifically for their school, and it's not really a place where you can, like, it's not really a marketplace like I created it to be. So it's very similar to basically you post your service onto the platform, and then other students who are looking for your services, they would basically just say, hey, I want to find a hairstylist. So you type that into search bar, you find all the different hairstylists on your campus, the different prices that they have, and things like that. And then another thing we want to get into is the marketplace aspect, where there's a lot of students on campus who have products and businesses that are product based. And so a lot of them would like exposure too. And so I wanted to play the dynamic of having a service-based marketplace alongside a student marketplace where people can just buy products from there. But at this current time, we're mostly just focusing on the services. But yeah, that's basically where our goal is. So we do want this to be across all campuses.
You do something to ensure safety in some of these things. I know like a lot of platforms that are double-sided marketplaces, trying to think of what some of them are called. I guess like Facebook
One should be
Marketplace.
like Fiverr.
Yeah, but not that kind. But like, well, I guess like what's the safety aspect of like going and get your hair done, right? Like, how do you get that trust and make sure that that person is safe and it's not like a sketchy situation? Because there are scenarios where I think, you go into hair cuttery or your local hair salon. I feel like there's a sense of safety where if you're meeting someone else who is quote unquote a random at campus, that's a little less trustworthy. Has that ever come up? Have you thought about that?
Unlicensed,
Oh, yes.
I guess perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Unlicensed,
definitely
but
have thought about that.
it could be a threat aspect of it too. I think.
Sure,
Sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do, so because we are starting up, the way how I have decided to kind of fix this issue is more so with, one, making sure that people are putting their best effort into it and they're not basically trying to scam people. I hold on to the money until the service is done. So I have a particular bank account where I basically just disperse the money to the service providers after they have completed their project. And then also for the safety aspect, I basically review all accounts that sign up onto the platform. And we have like a review system and things like that. But at this current stage, that's the most I can do. But I do plan on having a lot more safety in store in the future.
Yeah, this is really, it's interesting for me just having two kids in college right now. One being a freshman that we talked a little bit before we went live. It's interesting because like I never experienced that world. It's not part of my world. Even if I did, I had long forgot about some of the challenges. But like, yeah, I mean, like we plan like haircuts and stuff when he comes home on break because
I feel like I was the same. I was just thinking that like I feel like I got one haircut and three in my time in Morgantown.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a bad haircut, so we didn't go back.
Yeah, I mean, so it's and even like now trying to plan transportation to come back from Blacksburg back here, because it's dude, unless you're like
10-11 drive for you, there and
yeah,
back.
it makes for a long day.
So how does that work? Your daughter can drive there. He doesn't drive there, so he's got a.
Yeah, freshman year he does not have a vehicle, so he's got some friends that he knows from here that he's able to get a ride back because.
You got to pay?
No, I mean we will like get him a gift card to Dunkin' or something like that. Just.
Got it. So you're not paying like $50 in gas money or something like that.
No, but I would think that I guess talk. Is that something that
I feel like I did
at
that.
NSU? Yeah,
I feel like people would come back. From like where I live to Morgantown was 3 hours. I think I would get like $40-$50 to drive someone. Yeah, let's go. I knew them.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, Jalala, is that something that is transportation one of the things, or is NSU considered more of a commuter school, or are people able to broker transportation and that kind of thing?
So really, it's pretty small campus. So most of the services that we done on campus will be from the campus. So basically you'll kind of just meet up with each other. So like our dorms, we have like a policy where you can like invite at least like 2 people to your room or something like that as visitors. And so if you're a student, you'll be able to just be invited into their dorm or whatever so that they can do whatever service. That's if it's an in-person one. But basically if you're doing something that's more virtual, then it won't really matter about transportation because it's just a virtual service.
It's really, really interesting. I mean, like this is like, not to mention like the challenges that Zach may have had when he was at school, are very different than the challenges that you all face today on campus because technology has changed so much.
Yeah.
You're muted, Zach.
We don't talk about those challenges.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you all had, you grew up with iPhones and that kind of thing. So it's just interesting now, and just the arbitrage that the students use and leverage.
We didn't have the internet when I went to school, Tim.
I didn't either. Isn't it crazy?
Actually, I remember we were getting iPhones as I was graduating.
I mean, yeah, think about that. I mean, like,
Wow.
and like now, you all can say we're the generation. Back when we went to school, ChatGPT just came out. We had to use AI checkers to before we submitted our papers. That's wild to think.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that like the other day. I was like, dang, did ChatGPT really just come out? I feel like I've been using this my whole life.
Oh, so you use a robot to help you. Interesting.
Well, I think that schools should be teaching people how to use it, because prompt engineering is just the way of the future. And rather than keeping students from learning how to use it, I think they're doing them a disservice. But
yeah. And I think my personal thoughts on this is I'm all about using the tools you have. And so like one of the things is like for me personally, my business, I use ChatGPT all the time because there are certain aspects of business that I might not have a lot of experience in. And then also like it helps me get my thoughts out, it helps me learn different things. Like some of the aspects I didn't know about is, legal information and stuff, or how to like what are the different things like equity and like some other things that just goes into like organizational structures and things like that. And so a lot of times I use ChatGPT to help me get those thought processes out. Maybe I might have a business strategy that I want to do. So I'll be like, hey, I have this idea for my business, but I don't know exactly if I want to do it or not. Can you give me some feedback on it? And then it'll basically be like, okay, so here's all the, positives and negatives. And I'm okay, so how does this fit into my current business structure? And then it would go deeper into that. And I'll say, okay, so maybe I don't really like this idea. How can I kind of pivot this idea to fit more in the focus of what I want to do? And then it'll help me basically give me a whole lot of idea generation ideas for how I can expand and things like that. And so it's really, really helpful for that, especially just because it's hard to come up with a lot of ideas on your own. And then it helps you. It's kind of like talking to another person. So my ChatGPT knows exactly what my business is. Like I can just go say, hey, can you give me a description of Campus Connex? It'll give me a perfect description of Campus Connex because I've talked to it so many times. So anytime I ask it a question, it will already refer to the previous information I gave to it about Campus Connex.
Are you polite to it?
I mean, I try to be.
I'm not.
I could probably start saying good morning. Like, how are you?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? I wonder what that does. Have you ever done that?
The mobile app for ChatGPT is great. In terms of like how well you can converse with it. The only thing I don't really care for is it picks up background noise, and then that will like trigger some errors or whatever. But like, it's Siri is so awful that like it's just unusable, and the ChatGPT experience I think is pretty fantastic.
Wow. I don't have no idea.
Hello, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? There we go. I'm Granby. Let's see if I'm Granby.
Yeah, but on the mobile app, you can like just have a conversation with it. It's pretty good. But like, I agree. Like, there's sometimes like if I'm doing work on our website or whatever, and I'm like, man, I can't get it to do what I want it to do, and just throw a quick prompt into ChatGPT, and it'll give you your step-by-step directions, and then it's like, man, that just saved me from paying a developer like $50 or $100 that for a half an hour worth of work, kind of thing. And it was just one checkbox that was buried somewhere within a menu. It's like, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And it helps save a lot of money, especially like with me and my stage. I don't have all of the money to be able to pay people for different things I need, or even just all different resources that I don't really have access to. So it's really helpful to have something like that to help me in my journey. I'm younger, so I don't have a lot of the industry experience in different things, but through talking with ChatGPT, it helps me get some of that industry experience because what I had actually attended a pitch competition I think a year ago, and he was basically talking to us about prompt engineering and how you can basically ask ChatGPT to take on a persona of somebody. So what I typically like to do, I say, hey, can you take on the persona of a industry expert with game design, and I want you to be really good at maybe the technical and workflow of or like a flow of the game, something like that. And then I'll say, and I would like you to kind of like help me get a grasp on these concepts or whatever. And then basically from that persona, it's gonna, anytime I talk to it after that, it'll basically talk to me as if it is that expert. And so I use that a lot also.
It's super interesting. I mean, like that's the talk right now is like it's just a matter of time, or the business may have already been created that the first solo founder, one person business to become a unicorn. And AI and ChatGPT will be one of the things it's going to allow that to happen.
Yeah. And I feel like it just put the ball in a lot of people's playing field, because a lot of people, they just didn't really know how to start and things like that. Like when I started my business, I didn't know what to do, how to start. If I would have had ChatGPT the moment I started it, that would have been great. I'd be like, hey, I want to start a business. Can you like give me some ideas on what I should do to start? No, I went online. I was looking up all these different things, all these different articles, and I was okay. So it says to start an LLC first, then it says do this next, and then da da da, and then as you get into business, you learn that you need to have some other ideas too with how, like, so one thing I learned was fall in love with the problem and not the product. And so when I first started my first business, I started on the product, and so then I was like, dang, how am I supposed to make money if I don't have the money to create this product? And so I was like, okay, so I got to go back to the starting point. What was my mission for starting this? And then I was like, okay, so what are some other things I can do?
That's part 3, according to ChatGPT. Mission and vision. See, every prompt that you're saying I'm doing to see what this. You guys have names for your robots?
I do not.
I
wish I did.
AI. Yeah, I mean, I need to rename this guy.
Huh? Yeah, I have not.
Maybe Larry. Like the cable guy.
Right.
That would be funny.
When
Emmanuel,
it comes to
what do you name your robot? I know he has one. I could see it. He's like, I got it.
Oh, Nova. Oh, that's a nice name.
Nova. Interesting.
So I guess I'm beyond. Yeah, I have not done it. I have to
wait. Amazon has what's? Oh God, I'm learning so much. I go away for 3 weeks. I learn so much about the robots. When I come back, by the way, I just call AI the robots. If you're wondering, like, what is he talking about? Like, I just like blanketly call them all the robots.
It's okay. I understand.
Because I'm stupid. It's fine. Tim.
No, I'm just circling back to Campus Connex. Like, of all the services that have been that have popped up on your marketplace, is there been any surprises that you're like, wow, this has gone a direction that I totally didn't think that it was going to go?
So I basically just launched it this semester. So I have really just been working on getting users. I would say my biggest thing that was a surprise was, so it's so funny because when you first started business, you were like, I got this big idea. I already done the research. I know people will love it. And like, I don't know, if you start getting really like you start dreaming about all these different things. And then once it actually like hits the ground, you're like, wow, this is not going the way I thought it was. I actually got to create strategies. I got to actually market myself. Like, what is this? And so basically I had to go over that whole hurdle of marketing, which is not my strong suit. But I did a lot of research into that, like following different Instagram accounts, seeing what they do, seeing who's popular, what focuses on the different areas I want to focus in, and then also just come with different strategies. Like, I think like it was like 2 weeks ago, I was literally on campus. I had just bought one a billboard or something like that. Not a billboard, but it's like a little poster board. And I literally stood outside and I was just like, hey, like join Campus Connex. We're doing all this different stuff here. You sign up now, we got some different benefits for you, stuff like that. Did Instagram, TikTok, commercials. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of stuff I had to work through.
But it's just, I don't know. I'm sure you'll agree, Zach, but to me, it just seems like you're wise beyond your years. You know, you're just out there, just not afraid to get messy. You're not looking for perfection. Yeah, you're just you're just sticking to what you have to stick to. You do it. You don't get intimidated, and you're just doing the stuff that needs to get done. So I applaud you.
And I would say the biggest thing was, it's not that I wasn't intimidated. I definitely get scared, especially like with the going outside and talking to people and kind of trying to get them to join. It's more so that I had heard a quote when I was younger, and they said that the richest place is a graveyard because that's where a lot of people die with their dreams. And when you're on your deathbed, you don't want to think about the things that you're not going to think about the things you didn't do. You're going to think about the things. You're not going to think about the things you did do. You're going to think about things you didn't do. And so my biggest thing that I always decided to try to live by is, if I'm scared to do it, but I want to do it, I'm going to push myself past that point to do it. So
digging into that, what was so far in all your years on this earth, what is the thing that that terrified you more than anything that you did? And then you did it, you faced those fears, you did it. And then you realize it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. What has been that biggest fear that you've overcome?
I had really bad social anxiety. So if you talk to the previous me, I didn't talk to anybody. I went my whole middle school years, I didn't talk to nobody. High school, I talked to very few people, and generally I was by myself a lot of times. And so that really impacted how I was scared to talk to people. I was scared of what people might think of me and things like that. And so it was really bad to the point where I just decided to do online school instead of going in person. And so my biggest thing that I learned from that was, okay, so it's not that I don't like people, it's that I just need to take them in doses. And so when I started working my first job, I kind of had a way to kind of interact with people to a degree, but also go back home to kind of decompress. And then when I got to college, one of my things was, I would say that this was the pivotal moment in my life. I tell this to everybody. I went to an event, and at that event, I had a friend that was who came to there was a person in my class who came to the event, and I knew him, and I was like, okay. I was like, so I can either stand here and not talk to anybody, and then I'll have it go for sure the way I know it's going to go, where I don't meet anybody, I don't talk to anybody, or I can step out of my comfort zone and I can go talk to him. And so I was like, 1, 2, 3, and I just moved, and I started talking, and then I joined his friend group, and then after that point, I was able to, talk to more people. And then also I forced myself into doing different programs where I was put in spaces where I would have to talk to people. I did these leadership programs on my campus where they really were talking about us projecting ourselves and getting our thoughts out to other people and just meeting other people also. So I went from somebody who would just stand in the back of the room and just watch people all day long to somebody who, if I see somebody in the back and they're not talking about it, I can walk up to them, talk to them, and start a whole conversation. Or I can even walk up to a group. I don't like to walk up to a group, but I'll do that part. But yeah.
That's awesome. I dig it.
Thank you.
When you walk up to a new group, what do you do? What do you say? You just slide in there and be like,
I just ask them what they're watching on Netflix.
Don't lie.
See, I'm the key is try to find try to find something to kind of talk to them about. So if they're talking about, I guess, let's just say sports, I'm like, oh, dang, y'all talking about this? I was like, oh yeah, I love this. And then we kind of go into that type of conversation.
Do you lie about it even if you don't like it? So if they're talking about cricket, are you like, oh, that is an absolutely barn burner of a sport, even though you don't know what it is?
Oh no, I do not lie. If I don't know it, I'm not in the conversation. I'm sorry, I'm
It's
very
good to know.
authentic. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't join this conversation. I'll just keep walking.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like, I'm not
listen
gonna be
to a
looking crazy.
conversation. Listen to a conversation that you can interject yourself into, then be like, okay, let's talk about that a little deeper. I like
Yeah, I
that.
was
I
like,
dig.
gotcha.
Oh, watch out.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, it's kind of like like I wish that the business community would be more like that, in the sense of, hey, we're having this
Just the
meeting.
opening.
I'm in this meeting. I can provide no value. I am just going to excuse myself because we're just burning money and burning time. And I think the businesses would operate a whole lot more efficient, or just any meeting at all. It could be a bunch of organizations joining together, and it's just like, I really have nothing to contribute here. I'm going to excuse myself. And
But I also feel like even if you don't have anything to contribute to, I feel like it's still good to be in that room in order for you to learn something. So one
yeah,
of the things that I did was I put myself in a lot of spaces where I was at the advantage of people. Like, I don't know anything, but I have a lot of people around me that know the things that I want to learn about. So I'd be like, I'll just sit back, take notes, and like kind of hear what they're saying, and then kind of go back to myself and then kind of see how can I apply this to my life. And that's something I had actually did at an internship. I think it was this summer, where I didn't know anything about automation. I never heard of it or anything like that. But I ended up getting a project on automation, and so I was like, okay, I gotta figure this stuff out because it's for work. So I did that, and surprisingly enough, when I did that and I learned it, I was like, you know what? I could probably apply this to my business. And then so I basically, after I got off work, I went to my, what business like me on my website, and I was just like, okay, so I'm gonna map out this entire flow of how my website works, all different interactions, which is something I learned in my job also. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna see where can I automate the different things that I'm doing. And so I was like, okay, so I would have to send an email to the users at this point. So now I download Zapier, and I was like, okay, so I created a workflow for that. And so now all the emails that I have to send are automated. And so it basically helped teach me about how to automate and process flows and things like that.
love it. I love it. I am
So,
I'm
okay,
impressed.
so you started a business, but you're going to be out of that world in
Yeah,
4
I
months.
wanted to ask
How
that
do you-
same question. What's going to
Yeah.
happen with the business, and what's your plans? Is that where you're
Oh
going,
no,
Zach?
this
Mhm.
business for life.
Are you gonna Campus Connex? You're all in?
Oh yes, I'm definitely all in. This is something I'm very passionate about. So even if when I graduate, I would still plan on working on it from even if I have to work part time or something like that. But this is something that I definitely want to put all my time into if I can. So yeah.
That was a quick answer. It's for life.
I love it. So like, what you said you're majoring in tech. What side of tech are you majoring in?
So I'm information technology.
What is there a side that you're drawn to? I mean, the website is clean, looks good. Did you do all that on your own, or did you use the
I did not
assistance
know
of
how to
Chat?
code. No, I'm using a platform called Softer. Basically, it's for people who do not know how to code. It's where you can create more of a visual-based platform. So I would say I took some time to basically learn that. I did have a web developer. She started it off for me. So my very first website, like my main website, is from a developer. I didn't do that, but the marketplace aspect, which is where people would add services and things like that. That she also started off for me. And then as I was like, okay, I want to add some more features, but I don't want to keep bothering her. So I was like, I'm gonna just kind of play around with this and see what I can do. And so I would literally spend hours after work just playing around with it and be like, okay, so this does this. I didn't know nothing about no databases. I played around with Airtable. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna make a copy of this version of my database because I don't want to mess up what she did, but I'm also gonna kind of play around and kind of learn what each of these
Get
things
messy.
do. But like when I did that, it allowed me to know how to better manage it and how to work with it. because a lot of times you get handed something, you're like, okay, I don't know how to work with this though. I don't know what to do. So if anything happens, I'm like, can you fix this for me? No, I don't like doing that. I like knowing what I want to. I like knowing how to fix things myself. So I just played around with it.
How did you choose Norfolk State?
So actually, it's very interesting because I love bowling. I'm on the bowling team here, and so I actually got a partial scholarship for bowling here.
That's where I wanted to go there next. I saw that you were a bowler, and I was curious, like, what's your highest single game?
We got to hear what yours is first, Tim. We got to hear what yours is.
Well, I bowled a 300 on Wii.
Wii.
I was like, wait, what? I was like 300.
What's your real score?
I think that I might have broken 200 like once. Yeah,
okay. When I first graduated, I went and bowled a lot too. My dad had a ball, and so I stole it. He wasn't playing. He wasn't athletic. Man in the background's dying. This is so funny. So I used to bowl a lot. I learned how to do the ball twist thing. Self-made. I bought the damn shoes, I think my record's like 220, 223, 233, something like that, which I feel like is decent. And I could do that on a pretty regular basis, but can't wait to hear you. You're what, like 278? What do we got?
278, I wish. So my highest score is a 233, I believe.
Damn, I could have gotten a partial scholarship too.
Yeah, that's my highest score. But patterns are hard. Like, I would say I haven't played house bowling in a while, because house bowling is definitely a lot different from playing for championships and stuff. Basically, they put different types of oil patterns on the lanes, so it'll affect your ball differently. So I have like 7
Do
bowling
they tell you
balls
beforehand?
that do different things. Yeah.
Oh, so like back in the day, you would have the one ball that you use for your first throw.
Oh.
And then you'd have a second ball for to pick up the spare. So now, is there multiple balls, but depending on what type of spare you're trying to pick up?
No, so it's actually the reverse. So basically, so I have a spare ball. So I use that for all my spares, but I have multiple balls that do have different reactions to different oils and different patterns. So like one ball I can play more down and in, which is basically what we say, like kind of just throwing kind of straight, I guess is the best way of saying it, and kind of just having it hook a little bit in the back. But then if the lane, if all of us are playing the same lane, like playing the same line, and there's oil in the lane, it's going to start burning. So that means that the ball's going to hook a lot more than so you can't stand in the same spot anymore. So then I could be standing really far to the left and have to really push the ball out for it to hit the pocket. So that's when I would need a ball that does something like that, where it'll hook a lot later. Later.
And the time and the duration too, I would imagine, changes. So like the first person, it's going to be more slick.
Mm-hmm.
More slick. Thank you, Tim. Slippery, like slippery rock. It's going to be more slippery at one point in the day than later. So then you got to be thinking about that. Roller coasters are the same like that too. Like when they warm up more, they're faster, allegedly, because the tires can move. So I would imagine something similar to that. So there's like a whole thing about this. Bowling balls, I'm looking at them right now. $225 for a bowling ball. What in the
and I
world?
get them for free.
Do you still do?
Hell yeah.
Do you still do it? Do you do the turkey dance after each turkey, or are you beyond that, your career?
Oh, we don't do no turkey dance now. We do have cheers. We do have cheers. So basically dang, what's our cheer? Dang, I'm gonna get my teammates gonna come after me for this, for not remembering.
I don't know. We need to see
like,
this.
Oh yeah, so it's like strike. turkey. It's something like that. See, in the moment,
that was
I
tough,
remember.
man. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh.
Do you feel pressure after the second one? Do you feel pressure to convert and get that turkey?
I won't say I feel pressure. If anything, I feel I'll say I kind of feel excited because I like to look at the other person on the other lane, like we're going against. And I know last year, especially during their championships, I was literally looking at the girl across from me, and I was like, "Go ahead, get a strike, so I get one too." I was like, "I want you at your best."
I just want you to know that I'm on bowlersmart.com. Great website. First time ever visited. Can't wait to see all the ads for it later. The names for some of these balls are absolutely diabolical, and I'm all for it. Sneak Attack, Stealth Pearl, Hustler, Eternity, Venom, Stealth, like Zen, Tropical Search.
I have
like,
that actually.
Oh, what about the IQ ball?
No, I don't have that one. I have okay. So what I have the Ion. I have Ion, Zen, Trailblazer. What else do I have?
Wow.
What Gym.
What weight ball do you like to roll with, so to speak?
It's 14. All of them are 14 pounds.
Wow. Is that a guy-girl thing?
No, it's just my coach prefers us to throw 14 pounds.
What do the guys play at? 14 too?
So we don't have a guys team, but typically I would probably say it just depends on them. Our coach is just very much into having us all bowl the same weight. So yeah. But we do workouts and things like that. So we do that every Tuesday, Wednesday. We used to do bleachers a lot. I'm so glad we're not doing it right now. But we used to do those. We got cardio. So it's a whole thing with this. And then with our tournaments, they last from like 2 to 3 days, depending on the tournament. And then typically it's going to be like 8 hours every day. So you're going to be bowling for a long time.
You get sore?
Where the endurance comes from. I don't get sore, but my teammates do. I don't really know why I don't get sore. I haven't really had any injuries or anything like that.
You better knock on
I'm very
some
grateful
wood.
for it. I was like, I want to try to keep it that way.
How many 7-10 splits have you picked up in your day?
Never.
Really?
No.
Tim, you?
I did.
I don't know.
Not go for those.
No, I don't remember. I mean, that's the one. Do they still have a thing? Like when I was a kid, I used to love. We'd beg, like our parents, to go to midnight bowling. Is that still a thing?
Oh, you mean like where it's like dark and they got all the like lights and stuff?
The neon lights.
And then they would have like the red head pin, but and then if you would get a strike, it would be a red for us anyway. It was a red head pin, and then you would call one of the people to spot that worked there, and then if you would get a strike with the red head pin, like you'd win like $1 or something or $2.
Wow.
And then if you didn't get a strike and you got the spare, then you got like a lesser amount kind of thing. But it was just a ton of fun. I mean, it was really, really cool.
Yo, I have not seen that being done anymore. At least they still have like lights and stuff, but they don't do that anymore.
When was the last time you went bowling, Tim?
We went for Drew's birthday last year. That was just something you wanted to do at Apex in Virginia Beach.
Okay, so I went there a few weeks ago. Didn't do anything. I was just walking through. Saw bowling there. Got disgusted and left.
I was going to say, Zach, you probably can't bowl, man. You can't put your feet in.
I'm not putting my fingers in those holes. That's disgusting. I mean, you know how many? There's been so many fingers in those holes. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't care how much.
That's why I have my own balls.
Exactly, but I don't trust other people's hands. Them fingers in there. That ain't right.
Yeah, bowling's fun.
It definitely is.
That Apex place is
I was
cool.
only bowling for 2 years before I was recruited to the team, which was very interesting because a lot of people that I knew, they had been bowling for years, and I had just started. Like my very first year, like bowling ever, I had made a 200 at the end of that year. My very first 200, and so that just took a lot of practice and dedication. And then also, the bowling community, they were very, very much there So when I first started bowling, I was just, had a house ball, just having fun over there. And then somebody came up to me and like me and my sister, and they were like, "You got like kind of like you got potential. Like let me help you out here." And so
Wow.
basically, because me and my dad and us, we would be there all the time. Cause we just started started bowling. We just started loving it. So they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you under my wing, and I'm gonna like help you, teach you how to bowl." And so every time we would go in there, and he would be in there, he would like time for business. And so
What
we like go
what bowling
practicing.
alley is this?
This was Westland Branch.
Okay,
And
yeah, I've been
so
there.
yeah.
That's probably the
Yeah,
last
so
time I went bowling.
Man.
You were
Yeah,
probably
that
there.
was my winter sport. Like I would swim, and then on Saturday mornings we'd have our bowling league, and as kids, that was a lot of fun. That was
Wow.
boy, that's a
Yeah.
long, long, long time ago. So long ago that like if your shoes were sticking, we would get ashes out of the ashtray because people still smoked in there at the time, and rub those ashes on the
Wow.
bottom of our shoe. That was it, yeah. So I guess
Speaking of smoking, went on vacation a few weeks ago. I went to the Dominican Republic. I'm not kidding when I say I think 50% of the people either smoked or vaped. I was shocked. I was like, I thought this
yeah,
world was
yeah. Well, I think that Europeans and whatnot. I think that a lot of smokers, uh,
Mhm.
and then I was surprised to see a lot. I don't know. Maybe that Jalea, is that a lot of the campus, is vaping a big thing on campuses?
How that vaping is.
I would say I believe so. I don't
Yeah.
do it, but I believe so. There's quite a few people that I know that do that. Hmm.
I don't even. I wouldn't. I'm intimidated by just a few things in life, and when I see lights and stuff on these vapes, like I couldn't tell you the first thing. You got to put some sort of fluid in there, and it's like a battery, and I like that is just, I wouldn't even know where to begin. The other thing that copy machines, they intimidate me, so I just don't print anything. But
Oh, I thought you said coffee machines. I was
no,
like,
copy,
That's what I thought I
copy,
heard too.
so hard putting a
yeah,
freaking K cup
I
down
was
there.
like,
copy. I didn't want to say, yeah. I guess back in the day, like Xerox machine, but yeah, I wouldn't even know the first thing on that vaping stuff. So
yeah, and I don't like putting nothing in my body that's gonna harm me. And I mean, that's just something that I like my lungs. I don't want to hinder them. I seen
All
an
right.
experience when I was a kid that had to do with lungs, and I was like, dang, that's what happens to your lungs when you do that kind of stuff. It's black.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
not.
marketing is a powerful thing. I mean, like well, cigarettes bamboozle people forever, and then like somehow the vaping thing, people believe that it was a
Safer
healthier
or
alternative
yeah.
form, but you're still
I don't know.
ingesting nicotine or whatever the case is. I don't know. I know nothing about it.
So when you
Yeah,
have a
I don't
friend,
know.
when you have a friend that wants to come in from out of town, and they're like, "I'm hungry. I want to go get some food." Where do you take them? What's the go-to spot? What's like the place that you have to take people to?
I
Doesn't have
gotta
to be on
take him.
campus. It could be anywhere.
Okay. So I would say on my campus, so we do have one good place that I really like to go to, which is dang, I think yeah, Spartan Station. I think is what it's called. I don't know. I just know where to go for it. But yeah, they got really good Philly cheesesteaks. I love
Mm.
Philly cheesesteaks, so that's where I'm gonna go. Anywhere it's Philly, cheesesteaks, burgers, I typically like to go.
Oh yeah. I am a sucker for Philly cheesesteaks, and whenever I see a French dip on a menu, I have to just drawn into the French dip, and I just feel like I have to give it a whirl.
You know what's really good is a Philly cheesesteak with a chicken tender on it that's been
Mm.
sauced.
What?
Yeah, it sounds
I've
amazing
never
until you
heard of
freaking remove
that.
it from your menu.
Yeah. So yeah. So there were Dirty Buffalo. That was one of the things. It was called the Stinger, and
R.I.P.
they took it off the menu for some reason.
I mean, it was
Wow.
amazing. You know what? If you're listening, Dirty Buffalo Russell, how dare you? How dare you take that? I don't care how much it costs. You know, bring it
I
back.
mean, yeah. I mean, all the ingredients. Yeah. So outside of campus, best Philly cheesesteak place that that you have to go to
Hmm.
in the.
I still haven't found one yet.
Mm,
I'm like, none of them have a particular taste I'm looking for. Like I love I don't like it when it's too hard on the bread, like too
Yeah, the
toasted.
bread
So I'm
matters. Have
like,
you been to 757 Chopped Cheese?
no, I don't think so.
It's like right down the street from the casino. I've never been, and apparently they just opened one at Oceanfront too. But
I'm gonna write that down.
I used to go. We used to go to Straight Out of Philly, and that was in Norfolk.
I think Eagles is supposed to be popular. There's one on Granby Street now that's supposed to be really popular too, but I've never been. Right across from the Roper Theater.
Mm.
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take these recommendations because I'm still trying to find the perfect Philly.
Those aren't real recommendations. I've never been to any of them. So that is from the internet.
Yeah, well, the Straight Out of Philly one, that was people that relocated from Philly.
Allegedly.
I mean, to me, it's just like the messier it is, the better it is. It's just
yeah.
What kind of cheese you like on your Philly?
I like provolone.
I guess like technically you got to go to get a Cheese Whiz, right?
If they make it there. If not,
yeah.
I would say no.
Mm.
Because if it's a house-made whiz, winning.
Well, I think, yeah. I love what you got going on. I hope to see you get connected with the rest of the region, as you continue to develop this idea out and see how this can be expanded across campuses. I think that it's just really, really unique because like other people, you hear a lot of people say, well, what if someone steals my idea? Well, like people that are not living the campus life, they can't steal this idea because you're in it. You know the pain points, so like it'd be really neat to watch you take this and go from campus to campus to campus because you're solving problems that a lot of people don't even realize exist.
Yeah,
cool.
And then too, like one of the things I always like to think about when it comes to people like possibly like the idea of people taking my idea, I'm like, you can try, but you're not gonna work as hard as me to get it up, and you're not gonna do as hard as me to do anything else.
And the other thing with that,
I'm about the mission, so typically when you're about the mission, people gravitate toward you more. I want to help my community, so that's the reason I'm doing it. If you're just doing it for money, you're not going to get very far.
That's exactly right. And you're not gonna if you're doing it for money, you're not gonna have the drive to work on it for the next 10 years. You're gonna get bored with it really, really fast. So that's really, really cool. What in terms of like how you make money super quick as we wrap up, like being a marketplace, you just have a small take rate, I'm assuming.
Oh, you said a small take?
Yeah, like you take a percentage of the sales.
Oh yeah. So basically, for every transaction that happens on the platform, we'll take 10% from the person who's servicing it. So basically, that's kind of how we do it. But we also want to try to do like a subscription model for like different things that we might offer. So like we're still working on the different things we want to offer, but at this current time, it's basically just people can access it for free. We want to be able to make it so everybody will have the opportunity to have a chance to do things on the platform. But a lot of students have businesses, so yeah, we want to try to gravitate towards that.
Well, I think the other thing that's cool is the fact that you're giving people a platform that within campuses that they can start out their own business and they can dip their toe in the water. So you could be creating the next wave of entrepreneurs that you don't even realize is actually happening. Which is really cool.
Actually, that's my goal, because a lot of things is I noticed that a lot of students who are graduating, they don't have the opportunity to maybe get a job right away, or they might have issues with getting a job. And so, and then not only that, but I feel like skills are the number one thing that people need. And so not all students are able to get work experience within the things that they're doing. And so I feel like that's probably why too, a lot of people when they graduate, they don't do the things that they want to do when they graduate because they didn't get the opportunity to get into it. And so one of the things I wanted to do was give people an opportunity to build up their skills, even in off time. You don't have to have an internship. You don't have to have a job or nothing in it. Like freelances, if you have the free time and you want to do, freelance, then this is opportunity for you to kind of get out there, get some work experience, and then translate it to your resume. And then for like the student businesses, one of the things that we wanted to provide them was the opportunity to add their own website to our platform. So if you wanted to be able to transfer your clientele to a different business or your business website, then that's how it works. And one of the things we want to be able to show off success stories. I know that it was hard for me because I didn't have anybody to kind of show me how it is to start a business. And so I want us to create a network of community that we can go to whenever we need something. So that's basically what I wanted. I want to create a network where everybody can collaborate with one another and basically rely on each other.
I love it. Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations for overcoming your fears to come out of your shell, make this a reality. And I want to continue to follow your journey, and let's get you plugged in and with the rest of the ecosystem and see where you can take this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making this episode great. Wish you the very best.
Thank you. And I appreciate y'all for